Oh, absolutely. I mean, Boston guys, we love the accent. And even if you don't have it, you still love it, or you grew up with it. Certain kids had it, like wicked hardcore, other kids less so. And when Patrick Dempsey reached out to me about being in the film, he said, should I do a New England accent? And I was like, well, my pet peeves, I hate movies where someone tries to do a Boston accent and fails. It ruins the movie for me. And he goes, no. I grew up in Maine. I got like a light accent. It's more like that. And I'm like, that's perfect. He goes, I had to lose that accent when I became an actor. This is the first time Patrick Dempsey's ever used his real accent in a film. He really talks like that. So we knew that was meant to be. And so once you get Patrick and me and Jeff, we start like talking in like mass halls. Every Boston movie is about criminals. And I wanted to see those guys we grew up with in a slasher film. That was the joy for me. And then, we couldn't afford to shoot it in Massachusetts. We had scouted Plymouth, but I had a whole production set up with Cream Productions in Toronto. And someone came in and auditioned. She had like a wicked accent. I'm like, how are you so good? She's like, I'm from Hanover. I'm like, you're from Hanover? She goes, not only that, I'm a descendant of John Carver. He's an uncle. I'm like, what? She's a direct descendant. The woman who, Lizzie in the diner, is a direct descendant of John Carver. So we had people with authentic accents, and then Mika, who plays Lonnie in the blue jacket, he's got a wicked accent. I'm like, how did you know how to do this accent? He's like, well, when I was a kid, I watched The Departed 600 times, and I learned the accent, and I watched The Town, and I always just wanted to be a Boston guy in a movie. So we just found people like Joe Delfin and terrific actors that really, really got the accent. If you could do it, great, and if not, no worries. Then people like Tim Dillon, who's got a really strong Long Island accent, but it feels like regional. And I like those slasher movies like The Prowler or Don't Go in the House that feel like regional horror movies. There's a mass horror film called The Children from 1980 where there's where the kids go through this gas and the kids but it's all made with like local mass holes. Everybody has an accent in the film. So I love those films. It felt like I was right at home. Oh yeah, I had a part I was gonna shoot in the parade. I was gonna get killed, but I just couldn't get to it. It was so much to stage that I found I was like spending all this time thinking about my cameo, and then I was like, I can't do it. I gotta get the scene right. The scene's too important. So I focused on the other kills. I mean, look, when we were kids growing up, you know what it was with Plymouth Plantation and Sturbridge Village, the recreations, like you go to those places, you remember what it was like in elementary school, what Thanksgiving was. And we were always wanted to see a Thanksgiving slasher film. So we had the deaths. Like when we were kids, when Jeff and I were kids, we were like, oh yeah, and then there's the parade, they can chop off the guy in the turkey costume's head and he runs around like a turkey with his head chopped off. So then when we shot that parade and that scene, Jeff's dad came to the set. And we were in Canada and he just happened to be traveling through for business. So it was pretty amazing because Jeff's dad remembers us as 12-year-old kids with a VHS camera chopping, dolls up with chainsaws and filming stabbing scenes. And to see us there now doing it as adults was really pretty special. Like he just couldn't believe it. He's like, I'm so happy for you guys. It was pretty incredible.